What's up, guys? It's Big Fisher here. I've had quite a few people wanting to get some rigs and stuff like that for me lately, so I definitely just wanted to show you guys how I tie them myself. Super simple, easy, effective rig. It's called a hair rig. For those of you who are new to carp fishing, not quite sure what a hair rig is, just to kind of give you a rough and easy understanding. As you'll see here, it's obviously just a regular leader with a little type loop at the bottom here. As you can see, that's where we're gonna end up tying our bait. We end up using a bait needle to put a boilie, corn, anything else like that. So for those of you who do know what a hair rig is, I'm gonna turn around and show you guys how I like to tie mine today. I'm gonna keep them very simple and easy as possible. So to do so, the small minimal things that you are obviously going to need is going to be your fishing line, fishing braid. I'd choose braid over mono. Anything from a 15 to 20 pound seems to be perfect. You don't really need much more than 20 pound unless you know you're gonna go after some big fish. You're gonna need obviously your hooks and bait needle. These next two are kind of an optional. You can either use scissors or a lighter. I like to use both, clip them short and then clip it, burn it nice and neat. And then I also have created some new tying tools kind of help show you what I use these for today as well. And then lastly, some weed guards and bait. So I'm just going to be showing you guys today with the 20mm boilie, just like I said, how I like to tie mine. So to start, we're just going to be using a big octopus hook just for video representation today, just so that way you guys can see exactly how I do it, nice and big. So it's not the exact carp hook shape, but you guys look at the main point where it still has the curve there. So we're not necessarily worried as much about the hook today as how we're tying the hook on. So we're going to start. I like to just take some line, doesn't matter how much, just whatever you're comfortable tying with for the first little bit. Cut you off a decent section there. And you're going to start down at one end, just kind of loop it over. And I go through a couple times here, keep it nice and tight. And then this is where that tool comes in handy that I made. So I'd like to slip that up and over that piece, so when I cinch this knot down nice and tight, as you can see, it creates that bedded loop. I can get it nice and tight. And then, like I said, I like to snip those tag ends. And then where it is braid, there's a little bit of a lighter. Just so that way it kind of covers everything up a little bit there. So now you got your back end done. I'm going to take this piece off here. So now with the end that doesn't have your loop, we're going to slide up the bottom through the back of the hook like so. It's coming straight out the top. And we're going to let it sit. So now, take your boilie and your threading needle, just go straight down the center of it. And we're going to take this loop end that we had beforehand, slide our bait up on there. And then obviously we're going to be using a bait stopper as well. A lot of these bait stoppers you can get with your actual threading needles. I highly suggest checking out Amazon. They have what is called a landing mat. And the landing mat comes with some of these bait needles as well as some of these bait stops. Okay, so once you get your boilie on there, you're going to put this end piece right on the bottom there, if I can get it on. And we're going to pull that line back through so it's nice and flush on the end there like that. So that way, as you can see, the hook now is just free base, free flowing. So we're going to want to choose where we're going to put it. So I like to go as close to the hook as possible, like so. And then grab it with the line. And then when you look at the hook, you'll see one side always has an open loop or a cut, and the other side does not. Start your wrap on that side. So now you see how I'm going over, and then you're going to wrap it 7 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then just like the first time we slid through the back of the hole, we're going to go through that same back side again. And then once we pull it tight, you can relieve some of that pressure. Again, this is where this tool comes in handy. I like to put it over the hook, cinch it down nice and tight. And then that whole piece is done. Simple and easy, right? So now that that is attached, you have 2 options. You can either put on your little dumbbell piece, keep it on, keep attached, and then obviously tie your leader points. I personally just loop these over up at the tip, back it back down, just like so. So that way you got a loop end, tie around your swivel, and then your bait piece is all set. And obviously, if your boilie comes off, it normally keeps your end tag piece and everything, and then you rethread your new boilie on there. If you'd like, a little extra additive that I like to do is these are to take your weed guards. Take your weed guard, slip it up your needle. Cut my tag end on this side here. Cut your tag end just like the other side with the bait. You're going to thread that piece on there. So when you take your swivel, slip that weed guard back up to the top, and there you have it, tied leader with a weed guard.